What if Earth suddenly lost its smell? You would notice it before breakfast. Not because something exploded, not because the sky changed color, not because gravity took a tiny vacation and came back wearing sunglasses. You would notice it because your coffee would be wrong. You lift the cup, you expect the warm smell, roasted, bitter, a little comforting. The smell that tells your brain, okay, we are alive, unfortunately. But nothing comes. You taste it, still coffee, technically, but flatter. Like someone took the soul out of it and left the paperwork behind. And then you open the fridge. Nothing. No leftover curry, announcing itself like a dramatic entrance. No milk warning you that it has chosen violence. No fruit smell, no onion smell, no tiny mysterious fridge smell that makes you ask, what died in there? Even though nothing did. The world is suddenly clean. Too clean. And for about 6 minutes, you might think that is amazing. No garbage smell, no sweet smell, no public restroom smell, no wet socks, no burnt toast. At first, a world without smell sounds peaceful, but then your brain starts quietly tapping the glass. Because smell is not just a bonus feature, smell is one of the oldest alarm systems your body has. Before language, before recipes, before dates. Before someone wrote, do not eat on things people were absolutely going to eat. Smell helped living things figure out a very different question. Is it safe? Food has a smell, smoke has a smell, rot has a smell. And if every smell on earth disappeared, we would not just lose fragrance, we would lose warnings. Imagine cooking without a smell. The pan is heating, the oil is warming, the bread is toasting. You look away for a minute, usually smell catches the problem before your eyes do. That little burnt scent is your kitchen whispering, hey genius, the toast is becoming archaeology. Without smell, the first warning might be smoke or flames or your fire alarm screaming just like it just saw its ancestors. Food poisoning would become sneakier too. A lot of spoiled food gives off smells because microbes are busy breaking it down. Not all dangerous food smells bad, and not all bad smelling foods is equally dangerous. But smell is still one of your best filters. Without it, you would rely more on dates, texture, color, packaging, texture, temperature, and luck. And luck is not a safety system. Luck is what you use when you eat gas station sushi at midnight and tell yourself, how bad can it be? Then there is gas. Natural gas is actually odorless. The smell people recognize is added on purpose, so leaks can be detected. If nobody could smell that warning, gas leaks would become much more dangerous unless every building had reliable detectors. A world without smell would need sensors everywhere in kitchens, bathrooms, factories, mines, hospitals, homes. Your nose is not perfect, but it is portable. It is attached to your face, and unlike a smoke detector, it does not need batteries unless you can't sleep in soup. But the strangest part of losing smell would not be safety, it would be memory. Because smell is weirdly powerful. A scent can take you back years before you even know what happened. You smell a certain soap and suddenly you're in your grandmother's house. You smell rain on hot pavement and your brain pulls out an old monsoon evening like it was waiting in a drawer. You smell a school hallway, an old book, a hospital room, a certain food, a certain shampoo, and the past just walks in without knocking. This happens because smell is wired very closely to your brain, involved in memory and emotion. You Your nose does not send smell information through the world like a polite email. It sends it like a gossip through the fastest group chat in the brain. This is why smell can feel so immediate, so personal, so weirdly emotional. You do not just identify a smell, you feel it. Fresh laundry can feel like safety. A hospital smell can make your stomach tighten. A certain perfume can make you miss someone you were very proud of yourself for not missing. Smell is memory with a matchstick. It lights up. So, If Earth lost smell, the past would become harder to reach. Not gone, but quieter. Imagine birthdays without the smell of cake. Temples, church, mosques, kitchen, festivals, movie theaters, libraries, beaches, rain, smoke, flowers, babies. Oh, I love the way the babies smell. Old clothes, books. You know when you open a book, an old book or a new book, and put your nose between the pages. Ah, that smell. I love it. And rain. Soil before rain or after rain or during rain. Gone. The world will still look the same, but it would feel less inhabited. Like someone muted a hidden layer of reality. And food. Oh, food would suffer. Taste is not only taste. Your tongue can detect things like sweet, sour, salty, bitter, umami. But flavor is bigger than that. Flavor is taste plus smell, plus texture, plus temperature, plus memory, plus expectation, plus whatever emotional damage made you crave fries at 1 a.m. When you chew, aroma compounds travel from the back of your mouth into your nose. This is why food feels dull when you have a cold. You're not just tasting fries, you are missing the smell, half of the flavor. Without smell, chocolate becomes flatter, coffee becomes duller, biryani loses its royal entrance. Pizza becomes mostly salt, fat, texture, and sadness. Even spicy food changes because a lot of what we call spicy is not taste or smell exactly, it is irritation. The chemical in chili activates pain and heat receptors. Mint feels cool for a similar reason, but in the opposite direction. So, in a smellless world, some foods would survive by becoming louder, crunchier, hotter, colder, sourer, more textured. Restaurants would start selling food like action movies, now with 40% crunch, comes with edible sparks, soup that emotionally slaps you. People would chase sensation because aroma would be gone. But the quiet foods, the gentle foods, the ones that depend on fragrance, they would lose their magic. Now think about people. We do not like we do not like admitting this because people enjoy pretending we are above biology while buying scented candles called midnight forest whisper. But smell affects social life, not in a cartoon way, not like someone floats through air following pie smells, but body odor, familiar scent, clean clothes, home smell, baby smell, partner smell, all of it matters more than we usually say. A parent can recognize their baby's smell. People often find familiar smells comforting. Some scent cues can influence attraction, stress, and recognition. Again, it's not like magic. Your nose is not a dating app. But smell is part of how your brain builds a sense of closeness. Without it, hugs would still matter, voice would still matter, faces would still matter, but something intimate would be missing. A person would feel a tiny bit less them. Your home would look like home, but it would not smell like home. And that is where the thought experiment becomes sadder than expected. Because smell is one of those senses people ignore until it disappears. If you lose hearing, people understand. If you lose sight, people understand. If you lose smell, some people think, well, at least you do not smell garbage. But smell loss can affect appetite, safety, mood, memory, and quality of life. Some people who lose their sense of smell describe food becoming boring, social life becoming strange, and memories feeling less vivid. The world becomes less emotionally textured, like living in a movie where the color grading is fine but music is gone. You can still follow the plot, but something is missing from every scene, and the planet itself would become harder to read. Forest smell, ocean smell, rain smells, fire smells. Animals use smell constantly. Planets release chemicals into the air. Soil has scent because of microscopic life and chemistry. Flowers are not just pretty because they are trying to decorate Earth for Instagram. They use scent to communicate with pollinators. Insects follow smell. Predators follow track smells, prey avoid smells, mating, feeding, warning, navigation, survival. A smellless earth would not just be inconvenient for humans, it would break conversations happening all around us, invisible conversations, chemical conversations, a flower calling a bee, an animal marking territory, smoke warning a forest, rot returning nutrients, rain waking soil. The whole planet is talking through molecules. We just walk through it thinking, smells nice. But those smells are messages. So maybe the real question is not what if Earth lost its smell? Maybe the real question is how much of reality have we been ignoring because it enters through the nose? Because smell does not feel intellectual, it feels basic, animal, too close to the body. We trust sight more because sight feels clean and distant. We can look at something without touching it, but smell is intimate. To smell something, tiny molecules from that thing have to enter your body, which is both scientifically true and emotionally upsetting. Smelling bread means bread molecules are visiting your nose. Smelling rain means the world has sent a little postcard into your face. Smell is the sense that reminds you that you're not separate from the world, you're exchanging with it. Every breath, every room, every meal, every person, every storm. So, if Earth lost its smell, we would not become cleaner. We would become less connected. We would still see the flowers, but they would stop speaking. We would still eat food, but it would stop telling stories. We would still enter our homes, but they would stop recognizing us. And maybe for the first time, we would realize that smell was never just smell, it was warning, memory, flavor, comfort, danger, chemistry, attachment. A hidden language moving through the air. So, the next time you smell coffee, rain, old books, garlic, smoke, shampoo, mangoes, or that one suspicious fridge container nobody wants to open, maybe do not ignore it quietly, because your nose is not just telling you what is nearby, it is telling you where you are, what matters, what changed, what is safe, what is alive, and sometimes what you still remember.